In a village nestled between rolling green hills, a young boy named Leo was having a very grey summer. He was staying with his grandmother, and to him, the village was the most boring place on earth. The days were slow, the streets were too quiet, and there was nothing to do. His only companion was a scruffy, joyful terrier named Pip, whose endless energy only seemed to highlight Leo's own boredom. One warm Wednesday afternoon, Pip, chasing a butterfly, darted through a rickety wooden gate and into a garden. Leo sighed and followed him in, preparing to apologize to the owner. But he stopped in his tracks. This was the messiest garden he had ever seen. It wasn't filled with neat rows of roses or tulips, but with a chaotic explosion of what Leo's father would call weeds: dandelions, clover, and tall, spiky thistles. In the middle of it all was an old man with a cheerful, wrinkled smile, happily watering a patch of bright yellow dandelions. This was Elias. "Sorry," Leo said, grabbing Pip's collar. He ran in. "You've got a lot of weeds here," Elias chuckled, a warm and gentle sound. "I do," he said, his eyes twinkling. "They're my specialty. Most people see a problem. I see potential." Leo was confused. "Potential? They're just weeds." "Ah," said Elias, setting down his watering can. "That's where you're mistaken. Come, let me show you." He led Leo to the dandelions. Pip was now sniffing curiously. "Everyone tries to pull these out," Elias said. "But look, its leaves can be eaten in a salad, its root can be made into a coffee, and its flower is a tiny, brave sun that feeds the early bees. When it goes to seed, it gives children 100 tiny wishes to blow into the wind. Is that a weed, or a wonder?" He then pointed to a patch of clover. "People fight this one too, but it puts good things back into the soil that other plants need. It's a quiet helper, and if you look closely enough," he said, parting the leaves, "you might just find a little bit of luck." He plucked a 4-leaf clover and handed it to Leo. Leo stared at it, then looked around the garden. For the first time, he noticed the vibrant purple tops of the thistles and the bees that loved them. He saw the way the sunlight filtered through the tall, wild grasses. Pip, meanwhile, had found a patch of soft moss and was rolling on his back, wriggling with pure, simple happiness. "You see," Elias said softly, placing a hand on Leo's shoulder, "positivity isn't about pretending that prickly things don't exist. It's about choosing to see the beautiful flower that grows on top of the thorns. This whole world is a garden, son. You can spend your life complaining about the weeds, or you can learn to find the flowers in the most unexpected places." As Leo walked back to his grandmother's house, with Pip trotting happily beside him and the 4-leaf clover safe in his pocket, the village seemed different. The quiet wasn't boring anymore. It was peaceful. The slow pace wasn't dull. It was calm. The world hadn't changed at all, but his eyes had. He realized Elias was right. The potential for joy wasn't something you had to find in a busy city or an exciting event. Sometimes it was right at your feet, in a messy garden, a happy dog, and the simple positive choice to see a wonder instead of just a weed. End narration.